What in the heck are y'all doing over there? Get over here and bring them other two with you. Well, we better get something done. Do you and Harry want to do it, or, well, maybe Karen will do it? We have something exciting and important to work on, and I wanted to use my best team on this one. Harry and Karen, you guys came to mind first. Let's go to the conference room and I'll outline the goal. Well, obviously the first two examples don't really happen, or do they? To be honest with you, I've actually experienced both of them, and I bet the truth be known, some of you have too. Now, while the third version was a little over the top, it has proven to be much more effective than the first two. My name's Scott Moore, and today I'd like to talk with you about team building, the types of teams, and how utilizing a team approach has proven to be the most productive approach. There are many different definitions for teams in the workplace. Some companies have established a much formalized work team process whereby everything is accomplished through the use of formal teams. These companies have actually branded their team approach. Today we'll be talking about the kind of approach where you've got classmates, managers, and partners, and they're expected to work in a kind of an environment where it's friendly and it's encouraging, and it works together, and it's kind of clicking on all 8 cylinders. Well, in this economy, maybe it's clicking on all 4 cylinders, but you'll achieve the maximum production. On quotegarden.com, Benjamin Franklin is quoted as saying, "We must all hang together, or surely we will all hang separately." For clarity, that's not what I'm talking about here today. Well, let's begin by breaking down communication. It's important to understand first that communication can be the make or break in a relationship, be it personal or business. And second, communication is a two-way process. Listening is often almost important as speaking. So stop talking and listen. Question. Ask questions and clarify and create understanding. Don't underestimate anyone's intelligence. That'll get you every time. And be aware of volume and tone when speaking. Budget communication time into schedules for explaining projects and engage everyone in the discussion. Did you ever wonder why some sporting teams win the championship and some don't? It's true that teams have to have talent, and talent is very important. But a team's success, even the top athletes understand it's through teamwork. I'll give you an example of a quote. "I am a member of a team, and I rely on the team. I defer to it and sacrifice for it, because the team, not the individual, is the ultimate champion." That's from Mia Hamm in her biography on www.soccerfans.com. Mia is arguably the best women's soccer player of all time, and she understands the importance of team. Now, communication doesn't mean just talking. Webster's dictionary has several definitions for communication, but the one that most suits team building is as follows: a process by which information is exchanged between individuals through a common system of symbols, signs, or behavior. You can exchange information without talking. Communication isn't just verbal, it's also nonverbal. And often it's the nonverbal communication that causes a breakdown in good communication. Did you know that 55% of communication is body language? 38% is the tone of voice or how you're saying it, and only 7% is verbal? What it is you're actually saying is only 7%. Let me give you some examples of some negative body language. Rolling your eyes, closed posture, standing with your arms folded, standing over the top of somebody when they're sitting, pointing your fingers at them. Now that's a real no-no. Or pounding the fist with a table. Working on another task when someone is speaking to you, or a lack of eye contact while someone's talking to you. Well, now that you have an overview of communication, let's talk about the ground rules for establishing healthy teamwork. It's crucial to understand that teamwork and team building begins with trust and honesty. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. That's a quote from Henry Ford in his life biography. What Mr. Ford is saying is if everyone is moving together as a team, working together, trusting each other, sharing a common goal, then success takes care of itself. Now, if you're going to have to move together and you're going to have to work as a team and develop trust, you've got to give team members freedom. You've got to establish mutually agreed upon results and performance standards. You've got to encourage staff to take active roles. You've got to trust staff with whole project or task when possible. You've got to provide access to information. You've got to provide training and guidance. You've got to match assignments to interests when possible. No more does someone do well with something than when they're working on something that they personally enjoy. At knowledge@wharton.com, one of their experts is quoted as saying, "We don't want movie stars anymore." And she added, suggesting that when smart, hard-working individuals put egos aside to work as a team, they end up creating a better business. In the Wall Street Journal's Theory and Practice, there is a lengthy article entitled, Teamwork Raises Everyone's Game. In that article, the journal states, "It turns out your high school coach was right. Teamwork matters." In the last 5 or so minutes, I've given you a brief outline of basic tools required to develop and build a team. We talked about communication, both verbal and nonverbal, and some of the basic principles of trust, creativity, and honesty. Here is something to think about. Did you ever wonder why geese fly in a V formation? John P. Badgerow's study for Syracuse University revealed that as each bird flaps its wings, it creates uplift for the bird following. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds 71% greater flying range than if one bird flew alone. Well, I hope this information will be useful for you with your participation on a team. Whether you're organizing the team or acting as a team member, the spirit of team fosters and encourages productivity and makes it a much more positive experience. Thank you.